guys, it's Little Kansas Kitty and I welcome you back to my weight loss surgery channel. I had the RNY gastric bypass surgery on June 25th, 2018, so this marks my 1 year, 2 week post-op update. I started off my high weight at 238 pounds. I'm 5'6", I'm 39 years old, and 2 weeks ago when I did my last update, I came to you and I weighed 145. That was at the top of my maintenance range. My maintenance range is 138 to 145, and I have been in between that maintenance range for close to 6 months now already. I came to you the last time and I said, next time I come to you, I'm not gonna be 145 because it's a little, it's a little scary being right at the top of my range. And so what did I do? I just tried to cut out some of the carbs a little bit, and for the most part, I really tried to watch the binging and snacking, especially in the evenings that I was doing, and just tried to cut back a little bit on that. And let's just jump on the scale and see if that helped. As you can see, I'm 142 pounds, so I was able to bring it back down and plan to stay within my range. And if it's anywhere between 138 to 145, I'm a happy woman. 2 weeks ago, I had my lab work taken, and this was in preparation of my 1 year post-op follow-up appointment with my surgeon's office, and I'm pleased to say that all of my lab results came back perfect. I was in perfect range on all of the nutrients and areas that they were checking. As a gastric bypass patient, it's imperative that you stay on top of your nutrients and that you take your vitamins, because there is a malabsorption that takes place in your body, and nutrient deficiencies can be super scary. There are some really scary complications that can come along with being nutrient deficient, and so it is imperative that you take those vitamins. If you're curious or you didn't get a chance to see my vitamin video, I'll go ahead and link a card real quick just so you can see which vitamins I'm taking. I probably am a little bit of a diva when it comes to my vitamins. I like them tasty and I like chewy vitamins, and so I probably pay a little bit more than necessary, and I also like the ease of just getting them online. And so sometimes, a lot of the times, I just order them on Amazon so I can get them quickly. I pay about $50 a month, and I usually buy about 3 months worth at a time. So I'm probably spending, close to about $600 a year. But really, that's just part of it. That's part of what I accepted when I had the surgery, knowing that I will have to take vitamins forever. This week I had my 1 year post-op follow-up appointment with my surgeon's office, and I was a little nervous going to my appointment because I knew my weight was up a little bit since my extreme low that I had hit, my target goal, which was about 3.5 months ago when I had that visit. I did get weighed in a chair. It was really interesting. So previously they always had me jump on a scale, and this time it was the chair within the doctor's office that you sit in, that they do your vitals and everything in, that actually weighs you. So I am a little OCD, so I kicked off my shoes and I had a chunky bracelet on and I took that off too, and it weighed me, and I was 4 pounds up from my last visit. Granted, I had drank fluids that morning, and but I knew I was up. Regardless, there was no concern with them. They were very proud that I am still in a healthy BMI and that I am within my own personal maintenance range that I set myself. My most interesting part of that entire appointment was pretty much with my nutritionist. I hadn't spent a ton of time with my nutritionist in the past year, and I feel like I kind of used the binder that they gave me, but also developed my own behaviors and rules and things that I followed pretty much from watching other YouTubers and doing my own research. However, I really enjoyed talking to the nutritionist this time, and I told her the truth, that I was struggling and that I noticed some bad behaviors creeping back up, and specifically in the evenings. So my days are pretty good for the most part, pretty disciplined. I have my breakfast, I always start with a run in the morning, so I get my fitness in, and I get a decent breakfast, a decent snack, a nice lunch, another snack, and then it's usually right around dinner time and on that I start to slip up, whether I feel like I'm overeating or I'm binge eating or just not being mindful. And my takeaway from my nutritionist was that I need to plan my dinners. Through my successful year, I was so disciplined on planning all of my meals, and I am not good at dinner time. I just tend to start grabbing things and I'm hungry and I'm in that mood to just eat, and then after that I want to like sit in front of the TV and snack. And so those are some of the bad behaviors that are starting to creep back up. So we kind of talked through that, and we talked about meal planning is going to be critical to jump back on, and just recognizing that I am having some difficulty was a really great thing, because this is the time before any damage is done that I can approach it and do better. So meal planning for my dinners is something I need to start doing. Also, in the evenings, I like to watch some Netflix or some Hulu, and I sit there and I want to munch. I always want to munch on something. And this is my guilty pleasure that is so not, carb friendly or low carb keto diet or whatever, but I like Cheez-Its. Dang it, I like Cheez-Its. And I have found myself with a box of Cheez-Its sitting there and just like eating it mindlessly, and it's just slider food, so it's just going through, and I can pack some Cheez-Its in. And so talking to my nutritionist about that, she said, Cheez-Its are fine. She's like, eat the damn Cheez-Its. It's okay. But why don't you, instead of with having the box in front of you, measure out how much, a portion or maybe a couple portions that you want to plan to eat. And then also, because they are slider foods, let's get some fiber in there, something that's going to fill that pouch. And so talking with her, we decided, what if I had some baby carrots on the side? So I've got my measured out Cheez-Its, I've got my baby carrots, and then I can kind of munch and also fill up a little faster than if I was just having the Cheez-Its. So that's another plan, and in addition to my dinner meal planning. Also, I was a bit concerned about volume and quantity, and I was nervous that because I've been so intuitively eating, that I'm probably eating more than I need to, and I'm nervous about stretching out my pouch. What my nutritionist said is that probably I need to lean towards trying to get to about a cup per meal. But she was really, really proud as I talked to her about my meals and kind of my regular routine. She said, you're doing great. You're doing amazing getting all your protein in. And she was really pleased with everything. I have been in a salad kick for quite a while now, and I was nervous the day before I had my nutritionist appointment. I threw my salad together, and it was a pretty hefty large salad, and I was nervous to weigh it, but I thought, let me weigh my salad and just see how much it weighs, and then I can tell my nutritionist, and I can, get some feedback if that is just way too huge of a portion. And sure enough, I threw my bowl on the scale, and it was 11.4 ounces, okay? 11.4 ounces, that's like a cup and a half of food. And as I told her that, she had no concern. She was like, it's a salad, that's okay. She said, tell me what you have in it. And I had lots of stuff in it, because I had avocado, and I had imitation crab, and raisins, and carrots, and cucumbers. And I told her about my dressing, that I like a nice thick creamy dressing, but I don't go crazy with it. I just drizzled on. She's like, so just like a tablespoon or two? And I was like, yeah, probably about that. And she said, I think that salad sounds great. I think you're doing great. And I am full. When I typically have that amount, I'm full. So I seem to be okay with that volume. Talking through my meals with my nutritionist, she did say that I'm at a point where I probably need to add more carbs in, and so more starchy carbs. And she said to aim for half a cup 2 times a day of starchy carbs, whether that's some rice or some pasta or some mashed potatoes or, you know, something in that range. She said that is going to help me with my evenings where I'm feeling so extra hungry, and also those carbs are going to make me feel good during my runs in the morning. I talked to her about becoming lactose intolerant is what I've discovered, and that I've been doing some almond milk, and she said that's great. That's a great substitute, and to actually aim for 2 to 3 servings of almond milk a day, of like 1 cup a day. So I don't know if I can do all that. I don't necessarily have almond milk every day, but she said that would be a good way to just like keep the calcium up, I guess. During the portion of my follow-up where I met with my surgeon, that was pretty brief. Actually, I spent way more time with my nutritionist, and my surgeon was pleased. She was happy, and she did tell me something that was news to me, and that is, I'm really excited to share that I am going to have another follow-up appointment in 6 months. So that'll be 1.5 years later. And she said, we are here to support you for the rest of your life. You're going to have follow-up appointments for the rest of your life under our care. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that. Like, I thought that 1 year was it, and then I was on my own. And so that's really neat that part of the program is that they will follow you and check in with you for the rest of your life. She did say that she herself is a daily weigher. She didn't have to have the surgery or anything, and she's healthy and fit, but she said that it's a great thing that I weigh myself daily because it's your checks and balances, and it allows you to check in. And she said they are there to support me forever, and they'll see me in 6 months, but if my weight if I start to gain, or, you know, she's like, we want to catch it before you hit, like, before you gain 20 pounds or something. She's like, give us a call anytime that you want to come in, because we have other tools and ideas and things that we can do to support and help you with your maintenance for the rest of your life. So I felt very supported with her. Fitness wise, I have added just a little bit of strength training, not a whole bunch. I've been doing kind of my free weights and some of my assisted push-ups at home, not a ton. I've got a lot of nags going on right now. I think I mentioned kind of the adductor muscle that I was going to see the chiropractor for, and then also on my other side, I've been overcompensating, so I have a little glute issue, my hips, like I'm just kind of hobbling along, and I'm being consistent with my running, and I am getting a little nervous about this Michigan Marathon that I have at the end of the month. I'm just gonna do it. And this heat is killing me. Like, running out in this heat and humidity, now that the summer is officially here, I'm just dying. I'm dying out there. And I did a 21 miler on the 4th of July, and I had to take a lot of walk breaks. I had to refuel with my water. I had to take bathroom breaks, because another really, really bad thing about all of the running and the heat is it actually makes me need to go to the bathroom, like number 2, a lot. And I think there's some science behind it that heat makes you have to go. And things are moving already pretty fast just because of the gastric bypass. And so anyway, don't want to get too much into that, but yeah, so my runs have been challenging. I am a little concerned about the marathon, but I'm just going to use my own advice that I always give, and that is, it doesn't matter how fast you go, it doesn't matter how slow you go, it doesn't matter. Like, as long as you cover the distance and you keep moving forward, that's all that matters. And so that's my plan going into Michigan at the end of the month. Just a quick NSV, I had a friend reach out to me last weekend. She had a pair of shorts that she said she thought of me because they just weren't fitting her right, and she wondered if maybe I wanted to try them on. And I saw when she sent me the photo text of them that they were Banana Republic, and I said, what size are they? I'm a size 4 in Banana Republic. And she said they're size 4. I was like, oh, I'll be right there. So it was, tried them on, really cute little preppy kind of shorts with a little room in them, and I was excited because she thought of me, you know, like, hey, I mean, these were size 4. I still can't fathom the fact that I am a size 4. I have been doing a little shopping lately, and I know that's part of, you know, like transfer addictions. So transfer addictions often happen when you're not eating for your emotions and eating to feel good. Sometimes you have to be cautious of transfer addictions, whether it's alcohol or drugs or gambling or, you know, other sex or, you know, whatever. And shopping is one of mine that I tend to kind of lean towards. So I have been doing a little shopping, but it's been fun, and I haven't gone too crazy. I just bought a few new pairs of shoes and a few dresses and stuff. So anyway, I'll keep an eye on that. I got to see my new man friend for the 4th of July, and he was in Chicago in between trips. He was over in China, and he does live locally in Kansas City, but he just had a few days in Chicago before his next trip to China. And so I went ahead and flew out there to see him, and we had a lovely time together. So my friend is actually roughly 115 pounds heavier than me, and he's really tall. He's 6'8", and so he's 14 inches taller than me. So I feel tiny. Like, I feel so little next to him, and I think that's like every girl's dream, is to just feel little and petite and small next to a man. And so, especially as a weight loss surgery patient or a person that has struggled with her weight and just been, you know, chunky and chubby and curvy and everything all my life, to just all of a sudden feel so tiny and small is a pretty amazing feeling as a woman. So I did go ahead. Our relationship is very casual, and although I am really enjoying his company, and you know, it's nice having that someone right now in my life where I have someone that I can say good morning and good night to every day. It still is super casual, and so I'm not going to throw too much of him and expose too much of him out here on YouTube, but feel free to hop over to my Instagram account where it's locked down, and I did post a picture of us together on there. Oh my gosh, I do have to share real quickly that in the airport security, so from Kansas City going to Chicago, I was flagged. I did the body scan and I was flagged, and the same thing happened when I was leaving Chicago going back to Kansas City. Again, did the body scan and I was flagged that I had something in my like groin area. And it was bizarre because I was wearing a small little dress, you know, no belt, nothing crazy on, nothing chunky at all. It was just like a small fabric dress, both going there and going back, 2 different dresses, and you know, just my little panties underneath or whatever. And I don't have any metal in my body, but both times my body was flagged by airport security during the full body scan that I had something in my groin area. And so I had to be, you know, patted down. They did all of the things, and they do have a female do that for you. And I was, you know, the second time it happened, I kind of asked her, I was like, you know, why? And she was like, do you have a tampon in? Or, you know, she was like saying different things. I'm like, no. And she's like, I don't know. What I found out after just kind of doing a quick Google search is that it's super common for folks that lose excessive amounts of weight, that have some excess skin issues, that the full body scan in the airport security gets confused by it and will flag you. And yes, I have loose skin in my upper thighs. That is my problem area. I also have loose skin in my booty area, but that area is pretty non-existent. So pretty comical. But it sounds like, from what I've heard from others from online, is that this happens all the time to them, and really the only cure for it is going to be plastic surgery. Sometimes you just have to giggle that our scars and our loose skin are just a reminder of how far we've come.